Hey Knights, it's Parker. Just dropping in to say we have major spoilers for the movie Logan and for the comic book Old Man Logan in this episode. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, it might not be safe to listen to this one. You might be able to get past news, but I mean that's about it. So if you've never made it to the end of this podcast, we do have an email, and we definitely want more people to sign up as a guest. Email us with any questions, or even just comment on anything we've talked about. This whole point of this podcast is to kind of communicate with you guys, and it'd be really awesome if you guys started communicating back. So, if you want to be a guest on this podcast, just email us at nighttalkspodcast@gmail.com. Email us with a topic, and we'll totally get back to you. Enjoy the show.
Right. Oh my god. That guy.
The juggler.
What a throwback. So oh my god. I heard the ASB hired him and they didn't even watch his promo videos on his website or something.
You need to know how to juggle.
He didn't know how to juggle.
I think some amateur jugglers at our school could have done better.
Right.
Honestly.
He threw it in the air and he caught it, right? And then that was it.
And he dropped the knives, right?
What a scammer, man. He was wearing weed socks.
He plugged his trapeze thing afterwards too, which is the greatest.
Yeah. His girlfriend was better than him, honestly.
Yeah,
his girlfriend.
Hoops, yeah.
But that one will always be my favorite assembly.
What, the magician one?
No, the juggler one.
Oh, because it was so memorable.
Everyone destroyed him. I was gonna say
saw him in the hallways.
No, destroyed him in the Snapchat. It was everywhere. On
yeah,
you couldn't not see it.
Oh yeah.
I remember I got a video of him throwing the watermelon into the air, and then it just fell straight down.
It didn't even go into the knife.
It just fell straight down. He was like, "Wait, guys, I think he's totally a con artist. What an act, dude." What a man.
No, because he has a trapeze school. That was what he
advertised. He openly advertised.
Hey, remember, don't forget, guys, check me out on Facebook. Get my
Then what kind of act was
stuff.
that? I thought maybe at the end, he's gonna finally show us what he can do.
Yeah, I think he was we thought it was a joke.
He was
it never happened.
Pretending to be really crappy.
It's a stand-up act that just went on for way too long.
Yeah, that's one of the one times where I was like, oh god, he's actually gonna cut off his hand doing this. I was genuinely scared. We're gonna have to cancel school.
But the Asian guy he was with, that was
he was cool too.
Yeah.
The hoverboard.
Why were his partners cooler than he was?
Yeah. I think it's just a business venture he went on, and just midway through he realized he was bad, but then he had to continue it because his parents were like, "You're a failure." I'm like, "I won't be a failure, Mom. I'll do better for you."
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Night Talks podcast. I am your host, Tyler Tang.
I'm your co-host, Parker Crandall.
And sitting with us on the couch is...
Brandon Khamenian.
Aha. We're going to have a great episode today because we're going to talk about comic books and Logan because we all saw Logan.
Yeah. Probably a lot of things.
Yeah. But I don't really know what else to say, It's a pretty straightforward episode.
Yeah, we can just dive into news, right?
Yeah. Well, no, let's get icebreakers done first.
Oh, yeah, right. Keep reading.
We have Brandon in here.
Hello.
Brandon, you're involved with many things at our school.
Yes, I'm part of many different sports on campus, like football, wrestling. I was part of track. I did swim for a while.
Uh-huh.
And I'm also part of the orchestra.
Right.
So I'm the first chair cellist. I'm also part of things like Link Crew, Club SAD, other clubs around campus. Probably know me. I'm the guy with the beard right now.
Looks pretty old.
Yeah. Yeah, a little something about me.
Yeah, I saw you in the honors orchestra show. That was really good.
That was really great.
Awesome. You guys did great.
It's always a good. It was always a good time performing with Beckman kids.
Right.
Always a great time.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess you kind of when you first offered to come on this podcast, we had a very different topic. But But you kind of wanted to talk about like how football, like influenced you, like your work ethic and stuff.
Yeah.
So do you want to just like get into that?
Yeah, I'll talk about my wrestling
that's
career
cool.
for a while, for a little bit. As a wrestler, I did it 4 years. Since I did other sports, I only did it for about 3 months in a year.
And you've been at it since
freshman year.
Okay,
Freshman year. I got varsity. I got my first letter freshman year too. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So wrestling is kind of a lifestyle. Some guys go really hardcore at it. I don't consider myself one of those guys.
Right.
I did diet. I've starved myself. I have gone without eating or drinking for like 2 days.
Wow.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah. So I've lost 15 pounds in a matter of 2 days too.
Whoa.
So I've been through those fluctuations. It's challenged me emotionally, physically. Recently, so my last year recently ended. About 2 weeks ago, I went to Masters. So at League, I was ranked first and got first. I'm League champ. In CIF, I'm fourth. And then I made it to Masters. Didn't quite do so well, but that's the level before state.
Right.
So I think for a person that's never done a camp, that's only done wrestling three months out of the year at a time, and it's cut so hard throughout my season, I think I did pretty well. I was also ranked second in county for a while. So
Wow.
So
Yeah.
So I had good times, bad times in wrestling.
Yeah.
Love-hate relationship, but it's always something I'll keep.
I remember when we had that potluck at Nick's house for Aperture, and I felt bad because you brought food, but you couldn't eat anything because you were,
Yeah, it was about Thanksgiving time. That's when my wrestling season starts.
Yeah.
So I have to, from football, I have to lose I lost about 30 pounds.
Oh, no.
30 pounds from football to wrestling.
So that must have been really bad, like at the Thanksgiving table, and you're just like,
oh no,
you can't.
I've learned, I guess, self-control around like
Yeah.
other people. I mean, I did eat like a piece of skin. I remember. I remember everything I eat.
Yeah.
But you learn how to adapt and like how to just say no to food.
Man, yeah, because that would have been really hard for me. I know. It would have been hard for Parker too.
Not
We
eating
all love
is like
food.
a nightmare. I can't not do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like. Oh man, that's really tough. Like that's cool.
Ultimate edge.
The ultimate edge.
I'm
You have
edgy.
like the ultimate willpower.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my god. Is there anything else you would like to mention? Just about you.
About me.
Anything you feel like it's important that we should know.
Yeah. So there's nothing really else about me that needs to be shared. I think
Uh-huh.
my personality will be exposed as soon as we start talking about.
Yeah,
it.
you're a pretty open dude. Like I was actually pretty intimidated because Brandon is, if you don't know Brandon in like, real life, he's a big dude. So like I was really scared of you the first time I talked to you. But since I've gotten to know Nick, who was here earlier, he was our first guest on our podcast. You're good friends with him, so kind of naturally just we became friends through that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is off topic, but did you ever see that Nintendo commercial for that one
Jackie
game?
showed me.
Yeah,
I
you look totally like him. It's
I did.
insane.
Yeah.
Wow. What Nintendo? Oh, the
For arms,
For arms.
where he's
Yeah,
fighting
the
that like
dude.
Chinese girl.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he looked like an older version of
I
the
haven't
original.
Yeah.
seen that commercial since, but like I think I vaguely remember it. Yeah, he does kind of look
Like
like
it was
you.
like the face and like
Yeah.
because like I've seen you when you're like like focused and it's
Yeah.
like it's totally like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
There was also a film that we were judging for the SoCal Student Film Festival because we do that in independent film. And there was this film called Purgatory, and the main character looked a lot like you. And I was laughing because he was kind of a bad actor. And he was like banging on a door because he's in purgatory, he can't leave. And he was like, no! No!
No, E2 Purute.
Yeah. And it just reminded me of you, which was so hilarious. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for thinking of me, I guess.
Yeah, no. If you're listening and you haven't met Brandon before, you will know, you will see Brandon when you will recognize his voice. Give him a high five or something.
Just come up to me, whatever. I'm usually not intimidating, I guess.
Yeah. No, you're like genuinely a really cool dude. So
Thank you.
wanna get into news?
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about, dude. Like I wrote down a lot.
Good because it's been I got like two things. And that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So
Exciting.
You want to go first then?
All right, I'll go with the boring one first. Well, not the boring one, but have you know Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Overwatch?
Everybody knows what Overwatch is.
So one of the characters has been confirmed as autistic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's Symmetra. She's the Indian lady who does like turrets and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. They kind of like retroactively did it because like you can't tell like by looking at her,
Right.
But it's kind of a cool thing that they're doing. Like that's like the first time I've ever seen anything like that.
Overwatch has these comics, right?
Yeah.
So recently, or not recently, I think it was a month or two back, they did like one character's gay.
Yeah, Tracy became gay.
I heard about this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a big deal. I think it's really
that's
cool.
cool.
Like diversity is like, I mean, I feel like everybody gets this like thing with diversity, but like this is
They're forcing it.
it's
but this
really
one's
important
natural.
to me, and I feel like I don't remember. Like, think about how many autistic like icons there are.
Yeah.
There are none
that are not like
stereotypical or
like
gross.
or like famous because they're autistic.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just a part of them. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
That's cool. That's just a little detail, and it doesn't matter. Like it's just, it's an avatar in a game, and it just happens to be. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
The only problem with this is that like she has to be like super low on the spectrum because like
Yeah.
you can't you don't notice at all, and she like she's like totally cool around all the other heroes and all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like low key.
it's like kind of a cop out, but it's still pretty cool. I like that.
Well, I
they're
mean,
doing it.
autistic people exist like that in real
Yeah,
life. There
yeah,
are people
exactly,
that
I
are
know.
low on the spectrum, so I still think that's cool. That's
That's
man,
funny.
that's from Blizzard, right?
Uh-huh.
Man,
It's like a huge city.
that's I know for like the LGBT community, like Overwatch has been like a really huge thing because of that.
They got like
the character.
different body types and like Zyro's like a huge buff lady and like they got like overweight people.
It's cool. It's positive, and I
yeah.
heard it's a genuinely a good game too.
Oh yeah,
so
it's so fun.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was just a thing I wanted to talk about.
What was your other thing you mentioned?
Oh yeah. I want to talk about 1-2 Switch and Snipper Clips. They're like the new games that came out for Nintendo's new console.
Yeah, since
Alright.
the last
So,
podcast,
I played them. I was like, my aunt bought a Switch. I like right after the podcast, I got home and like I found she had actually got it, and I was like, we have to play these two games, and we played them. And
Wait, your grandma got the Nintendo Switch?
my aunt, she like
Oh.
lives with me, so
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you can play Breath of the Wild.
No, she won't let me.
Okay.
But yeah, so Snipper Clips is the game where you're like these two little paper people, and you cut into each other when you
Okay.
overlap. So you like there's all these cool puzzles where you have to like cut your friend into a triangle so the hamster ball like goes up the like incline, and like you have to make yourself a bowl so you can like fit a fish inside of you and then bring it to like this pond. And it's I thought it looked really cool, and it turns out it's really fun.
So I'm sorry. Is it like a drawing game? Is it a?
It's it's hard to explain, but you're like this like half circle.
Okay.
And you can like rotate yourself, and whenever you overlap with your friend, one of you presses X and you cut that part of your body outside.
Okay.
So like
Strange, yeah.
it's a very weird concept, but it works so well because you have to like you have to communicate with your friend to like how you rotate and like how do you cut into yourself, and like so it gets really abstract and really fun. But the meat of like the new Switch games is 1-2 Switch, because that's the one everyone's kind of like
I'm really curious
weirded out
about this one because it's like you don't look at the screen while you're playing this.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
it's like the remember like Wii Sports,
Right.
Like they're
okay.
trying to do that again, but like in
Different.
this really weird way. Like there's one game where you milk a cow. And you have to, like the game tells you, look into your friend's eye as you milk this cow, and like you just gotta like
these trivial tasks that they ask you to accomplish.
Like
yeah,
little
they're
mini
these
games.
really weird mini games.
Okay.
Like there's one where you have to like feel the remote vibrate, and you like have to count how many balls are in the remote, and like there's an eating competition where like there's a camera on the bottom of the remote, and you just open and close your mouth as fast as you can.
See, but this is really like cool and unique, and it's like only something the Switch could do because like you don't look at the screen the entire time while you're playing this
There's
game.
always like funky gimmicks.
And there's like, this is such a funny name, HD Rumble.
Yeah, like
I just want. Can I ask you how that felt? Because I'm curious.
It's pretty good. Like the ball game totally works. You can like feel the ball roll in your hands.
Ooh.
And
it's like as if you were
collide with
holding
each other.
something. Like it's as if you were holding a case and there were like little marbles in there.
Mm-hmm. But it's just like a controller.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, like they don't really use it that much. It's just like the remote's shaking, so you don't really notice it. But when they try to use it, it actually works. But the game
itself.
Like when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like probably play this like every Christmas until something new comes out, and like all the family's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
But like, I think like the most important opinion is like from what the family, like what people from my family think about this, like,
right?
From people who don't play video games or anything, like what they think about this, because that's what this is for. It's like
yeah,
just for random
it's a
people.
very casual game,
and.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that good.
No?
Like my like mom was like, "This is boring. I'd rather play like Wii bowling or something like that."
Was it like too overly complicated?
No, it's just like the games are really simple. Like and like they don't give you like feedback, so you're just kind of like guessing on what you're doing. Like there's this one game where you're a runway model. And you have to hold the remote to your hip and like walk like this, like
what the
swing
hell?
swing your hips side to side, and then like pose and like do these weird poses.
Okay. And there's just not enough like.
But yeah,
direction.
it's like the points are like signed at random, so you like you don't know who's winning or like if you're doing a good job. Like it just
that's strange.
So it's super immersive, but at the same time, like you can't. It's not on a certain level. Like you can't. Okay.
Like I wouldn't like play any of those games more than twice because it just kind of gets really simplistic.
Selling this like on the side, not including it with the with the Switch is also like a huge mistake. Like
it's $60.
This
man.
is a full price game.
Yeah,
this is like full price. Like you can get Breath of the Wild for the same price. Mm-hmm. So why would you do this? You know?
Yeah, and like
oh Nintendo, you're so weird sometimes.
Like the idea is cool where you're like. You're more playing with the other person, right? It's more like a toy where you're like trying to read the other person and predict what they're doing, but
I think this might have been their beta for something a lot more complicated or intricate. In that
That's what it seems to be. Yeah,
I think they're just trying out their new. Does it come with a remote accessory? Does it come with that?
Yeah. So the Switch is like a kind of think of it like an iPad, but there's two controllers that like.
Stick to it.
Yeah, they're like slide onto their sides, and when you slide them out, they become like a 2-player controller. So like one person takes half of the console, the other person takes the other half of the console.
Like
that's the controller.
This is really simplifying it, but like it's if there's a tablet and then there's 2 Wii remotes.
Yeah, you tape the 2 remotes next to it, and then you just slide them out. Okay. So it's cool, but yeah, it was a cool idea, but it just kind of falls flat, and it's kind of stale.
That's
after,
upsetting.
like, pretty quick.
But hey, they have a really good game lineup. I just hope they had I just wish they had like a stronger like title. Like, well, you know what? If you go back and you play Wii Sports, it sucks.
Yeah, but it's fun though. Like this one's it's not fun after like a few minutes.
Just repetitive.
Yeah,
I see.
But yeah, so I just wanted to because there's no one really bothered to review it, so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit.
I have a lot of news today because, man, this is going to be a very Marvel-centric episode because there are 2, like, really major, like, MCU things that happened this week, but I'm just going to get everything else that's not that out of the way, and I'm just going to say it real fast, okay? Mm-hmm. So, Cars 3.
Cars 3?
Cars 3, new posters, a new trailer and stuff, looks so bad.
Bad?
Yeah.
I remember the little snippet about the catastrophic like car incident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the railway, that looks super intriguing. Is that just me, or is it like?
Yeah, that was like really intense. Like I was down to see.
Maybe
that
I'm just being judgmental, but like, why is Cars being dark? It's so weird.
Is there a new trailer that I'm unaware of?
There's a new trailer, and it's still an animated movie, but it does kind of take itself seriously than the other Cars trailers.
So they're keeping with the weird Mr. Lightning McQueen dies.
Well, some of it, but it's still very much like a Pixar like movie. There's still like comedy in it. There's still brevity and stuff, but it's still like Oh my god, it's so weird in my opinion. Well, I never really liked the Cars movies in the first place, so maybe don't take my opinion on it. So,
I've seen like each one twice. So.
I hate,
My little brother was obsessed with Cars 1,
Right.
so I've seen it. I can probably like recite the movie.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Not that it's an amazing movie to me. It just I know a lot about it.
My little cousin was the same way about Cars 2.
I thought that was garbage. I'm
I
sorry.
thought Cars
was
2
so
was
bad.
I
awful.
thought it was garbage.
I saw that
I
movie
hate
3
Terminator.
times in theaters.
Oh,
was
I'm sorry.
bad.
I'm sorry.
Moving on, there's Danny DeVito just got casted as the ringmaster in Tim Burton's live-action Dumbo, and I didn't even know that this was happening. I wanted to say because it's such a crazy headline, but we don't have to talk about that.
I'm just glad Danny DeVito's getting paid because I like that.
Yeah,
dude.
sure, whatever.
He's-
Disney, keep me here.
He is hilarious
Yeah.
and always sunny in Philadelphia.
He's so good.
That
He's
is such a good show.
always
Yeah.
By the way, it's really overrated. Not overrated. It's like what do you call what's the word that is bad? It's like it's crude. It's really crude and like
Really crude,
rude.
yeah.
It's crude and rude.
But I think it does it really
That's the
well.
point of the show, though. It
No,
does it really well.
No, I know. I've seen all 10 seasons. So
Yeah,
I love it.
I love
but
that
I'm just
show.
saying for the audience out there, if they ever want to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's on Netflix. But it's super crude and
It might not be everybody's taste.
yeah. It's,
Yeah. Anyways, we have Lin-Manuel Miranda and Emily Blunt. They're doing some really cool. I mean, it depends how you feel about this. There's a Mary Poppins like sequel that they're in the works, and I'm sort of like, I love Mary Poppins. Okay, but okay. Anyway, this sounds really bad, but like it's not a remake, so I'm happy about that at least.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel. Emily Blunt is playing Mary Poppins, and it's sort of like they're going with like a sequel route for this. And this could go either way, but I'm just saying that the pictures that they released of Lin-Manuel and Emily Blunt, their costumes are great. Like they just released 2 images, and like Jack, Lin-Manuel is playing a character named Jack, and like a poor sweeper, I'm pretty sure. And then and Emily of course is Mary Poppins, and I'm really excited because Emily Blunt was in Into the Woods, and she's a fantastic singer.
Oh, Into the Woods.
Yeah. And Lin-Manuel, I'm so happy that he's getting a big role like
As long
this.
as they give him some like tasty raps, I'm good.
And Mary
That's all-
Poppins
yeah,
returns.
because that's what he's like. That's what he's known for.
You know, if he was able to sneak a rap into Moana, I'm sure he can do it for Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
So, that was just real quick, but let's get in. Oh, one more thing. There's going to be a
Hey.
Star Wars teaser next month.
Han
Oh,
Solo?
okay.
Yeah, not for Han Solo, for Episode 8.
Okay.
And that's going to be during Star Wars Celebration. They've just
Alright, I'm
confirmed it,
excited.
basically. So
Okay.
get excited. I kind of want to have Zane on that episode.
We'll have a Star Wars episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, getting into the meat of what I wanted to talk about, Marvel-wise, we just got huge details for Thor Ragnarok this week. And, see, I am so oddly excited for this because I hate both of the Thor movies. But this is from a director that I love, like Taika Waititi. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I haven't heard of him
I
before.
recently got Parker into his work, but he directed
it's
this
funny.
movie last year called Hunt for the Wilder People. It was one of my favorites from last year, and he's just a really cool, like, comedic, stylistic director.
Yeah, he's from New Zealand, so he has this really kind of like this weird like
Brand of
quirky
humor.
tone to his movies.
Yeah.
and he's really funny.
Consistently great.
Yeah.
He has a very, like, unique sense of style. And so that's interesting that they hired him for Thor. So that seems like they're trying to like take Thor into a different direction in this movie, and I'm really excited for it. Anyway,
So, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
For the Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, do you know the basic plot? Is it
That's
it
what I was
about
gonna talk
Loki
about.
and like Odin? How?
so Loki is still posing as Odin, I believe, because that happened at the end of Thor: The Dark World, and so, but I didn't want to look too into the details of the plot because I am excited for this movie and I do want to watch it.
Okay, I
Go
actually
and
know
Brandon.
it.
Yeah.
It's
I just know that the only detail that I looked at was that there's this guy called the Grandmaster, and he's forcing Hulk to fight Thor.
yeah,
And so this is the thing that
it's like their version of Planet Hulk, which
yeah,
is a really good.
It's basically
run.
their version of Planet Hulk, but like I
But,
still
yeah.
want to.
Amazing comic book, by the way.
Yeah.
Planet Hulk. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anyway, we've got some teases. So there are a bunch of teaser images that came out, and one of them was Cate Blanchett as Valkyrie. And I don't know if you guys looked at this, but like her costume is very Cate Blanchett. She's an older actress, but she looks so young in this image. It's kind of crazy. It's mind blowing. And then we got Jeff Goldblum, my man.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum looks so cool.
As the Grandmaster, who looks very similar to like the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but like more colorful.
More colorful.
Like, this whole movie is like weird neon colors and like just
retro
really,
aesthetic.
Like, yeah. It looks way more lively than like the second one was, where it was all like just black and red.
This
and,
was
like,
my main problem with
the
the Thor
Astros
movies.
black.
They were too serious. They were too I don't know. The Thor movies had this like weird sense of direction, and I can never tell if it was trying to lean towards more sci-fi or fantasy.
I think what it wasn't kidding itself. Like it was. I think it took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
And as a Marvel movie from that time, from what is it, 08, first Thor came
Around
out?
there, yeah.
Or 09 or something. Marvel wasn't in the darker tone like it is now in like Civil War.
Yeah.
Even Logan was a great movie. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was trying to be dark, but it couldn't be dark correctly.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just Thor Ragnarok seems like it's going in a really good direction. They're giving Thor a haircut in this movie.
Yeah, it looks really weird. In the
That's a
photos,
strange
it's
choice, but
really
I think he
greasy and
looks
stuff.
good. He looked good. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a strange choice, though. I think a lot of people are going to be unnecessarily mad for it. So
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
a thing. But my favorite part about all of this is that with the preview images we got pictures of the director actually working on set. And this is cool to me because he's a Maori, so he's like, that's sort of like Pacific Islander and stuff. So this is actually the first Marvel movie that's directed by a non-white person.
Oh.
Really?
The first MCU. I'm sure there's other Marvel movies, but this is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe Disney movie that is directed by a non-white person. So that's really awesome to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that like they're giving so much attention to himself as the director doing this movie. Like there's pictures of him on set in suits directing people. There are pictures of him wearing retro. He has a very unique sense of clothing style. Like I don't know if you've seen pictures of him, but like yeah. Anyway, he's one of my favorite new upcoming directors. So I'm so happy to see this. It's so cool.
Yeah, and he's never directed like an action movie.
No, this is his
really.
first high budget film. So.
Which is like crazy.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see that.
Usually that doesn't go well though, because a lot of this is like a new trend of like studios hiring indie directors and then sort of just telling them what to do. But in my opinion, I feel like Taika Waititi is like that type of director that you can't do that with. Like he would probably quit if you told him to like do something he didn't want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that means that Thor Ragnarok is going to keep his style that he does with his. He has a very unique style.
Yeah, and it looks unique, so it looks like they're, taking their own liberties with it.
I
which
hope
is
so.
nice.
Because then that will be that will make Thor Ragnarok such an important movie, not just in the sense that it's directed by the first, like, non-white person, but it's also the first real Marvel movie that's going to have its own, like, sense of direction and stuff. I mean, you see a bit of that with Guardians of the Galaxy, but, like, this is going to be the first, like, stylistic,
They're not, like, trying to please everybody at once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a common complaint I've had with Marvel movies. They always come off as a little bland, stylistically.
They've been getting better though.
They've been getting
with
better.
the R movies starting to come out more. They're starting to work towards their true audience instead of trying to go to everyone.
Yeah.
Because they know if they focus on the true audience, they'll still make as much money.
Again, though, that's different though, because there's divisions of Marvel. So there's like the MCU, which is owned by Disney, so that's like all the Avengers
then
stuff,
the
and then we have
Fox,
Fox.
and then,
So it's all sort of depending on what the studios want to do. But yeah, I mean Disney has tried. But speaking with R-rated content though, so they have their Netflix shows, right?
Right.
Reviews for Iron Fist just came out, and they are scathingly bad.
Really? Have you watched the trailer yourself?
I have 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
Yeah. Here's the thing I want to address with this show, though, is I wasn't excited in the first place for this because I just have a really strong like it's not very culturally sensitive.
No, yeah. I was actually hyped for Iron Fist.
Uh-huh.
I know, like Iron Fist is like it's like Doctor Strange, but the concept, like the original concept, was pretty.
Yeah, it's yikes. But I feel like they could have done this
people,
in a good
but
way.
yeah.
But Iron Fist is like such a funny character to me. Because he's like in the comics he's paired with Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're this kind of like retro like crime fighting duo. Like the like Iron Fist and Luke Cage comics, they came in like the 70s. So like they're in these like really cheesy get-ups. Like Luke Cage has this big V-neck.
Right.
With like his chest hair showing up, and he's got this nice flat top, and like
Luke Cage has some really crazy costumes.
They're just like this. They're this really like funny.
Heroes for hire.
Yeah, they're just like this grimy, like street level, like they're kind of like a cop duo, but they also have superpowers, which is always really cool. And I'm kind of bummed that like they're just kind of like playing it straight, and like everything's kind of like
personally. This all started with the Daredevil series,
right?
In Netflix. I watched season 1. I watched 2 episodes of season 2. Never really caught on. So the universe to me was butchered. Like I never watched Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. And
you are missing out on Jessica Jones.
You didn't like Daredevil?
I don't know. I really personally I can't. I don't know what it is I didn't like about it. It just didn't appeal to me. Yeah. Maybe it was Fisk just being like such a well-known actor, maybe just because like
Vincent D'Onofrio,
he did a great job for Full Metal Jacket. Anyway, maybe it was that. Maybe it was just I didn't know enough about Daredevil, or maybe Ben Affleck's movie ruined it for me.
Yeah,
or I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't get into the Netflix superhero series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fisk was really weird. At like in the first 5 episodes, I was not sold because it was just kind of it's a really weird concept to get into.
Big dude though.
You
see him kick some butt.
That was cool.
I'm actually a fan of Daredevil and the whole Netflix cinematic. I don't know. Is it called cinematic universe? The whole Netflix universe in general.
Still, right?
Because I was a fan of. I mean, I watched Daredevil when it first came out, and I thought like I was astounded because it was so different from everything else they were doing. And then I watched Jessica Jones, and that actually is my favorite Marvel project ever.
I'll say this though. I'm a big Doctor Who fan too.
Yeah.
So I love David Tennant.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I was gonna
so
watch
good.
it for him. I might actually. Now that I remember.
I
that
say
David
check
Tennant's
out
in it.
Jessica Jones. It is. It's their most different thing that they've ever done, and I feel like Jessica Jones, like the story, is so powerful. I liked Luke Cage, and I mean, I've had mixed feelings about Iron Fist because I do want to watch the show because it's part of the Netflix cinematic universe, and I do want to experience this universe in full. But I can't get behind a lot of the it's a lot of white saviorism, and a lot of his Iron Fist was made a long time ago. I mean, the character itself was made in a very it was not a very good time for Asian representation. So that's why they made Danny Rand originally a white character, and I could see why it was okay back then. But now, I feel like you kind of have to take this story if you're. I'm fine with them bringing back Iron Fist, but I felt like they should have updated the story in some way. And I feel like, in my opinion, the best way they could have done this is if they actually race-bended Danny Rand and made him Asian American. Because the whole point to Iron Fist is that it's a fish out of water story, and because he's a white guy, and he's
the way he was, his origins, right, is he came from a rich family, and then he was the 66th incarnation of this one Grandmaster or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Asian, Tibetans? Was it
I don't know.
I don't know if it was.
I'm going to call them Tibetans.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's actually a fictional country in Iron Fist.
Okay, then whatever country they go to, they take him there and train him for years, turn into this monk-ish ways. So he was coming back. Him being white, I don't think is significant personally. I didn't really see him being white, even if it was a long time ago, as being culturally insensitive.
Yeah.
Well,
but
because it sort of plays on this trope that if you go into analysis, this is one of those tropes that we talk about in racism in narratives, and it's called the white savior trope, and this is when you take aspects of another culture and you give these features to a white hero.
Oh, I see.
And so, in my opinion, I feel like Danny Rand is just so, it's like, this is basically, you're giving these Asian, like, features, he's, like, mastering Kung Fu. And it's just it's touchy. It's not, and
like, the way I read it in a review was, like, he took, like, this Asian culture thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then he just, like, he adopted it, and then he became the best at it, and then he's showing all the Asian people how to do this thing that's, like, traditionally Asian.
Right.
So that's always a problem. That was always a problem with Iron Fist. And I feel like...
Like, it's not, like, horrible, but it's just like, come on.
It's something that we should be doing better. And I feel like... oh, hi.
Hey, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised.
How are you? Now that you bring up the racial...
It's sort of a trope that, like...
You
too. It's sort of a trope that I kind of want to, like, I don't want to really see this in modern, like, because in modern, like, art, this is, like, something that we should work past on improving. And, let me just tell you why I think that, like, if they casted Iron Fist as Asian American, this would be kind of a smoother story. Like, there is some, like, so the whole idea of Iron Fist is that this is a fish out of water story, We have Iron Fist, and he's a white guy. He's studying things that aren't, usually like he's used to, like
yeah, and he's coming back from New York.
Yeah,
and, like,
so a common issue with
years.
This isn't just Asian Americans, but with any like sort of like immigrated person in general, is like when you're born into American and then you come back into like your roots, in the country, you always feel like a little like alienated and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so this is just from like personal experience. Like, I think Iron Fist would be so much more powerful if they cast him as Asian American. He was let's say he's a little bit more like assimilated into like American culture. He's like a second like generation into America. And he comes back into his own country. He learns the ways of the Iron Fist and stuff, but you have that cultural conflict because culture shock was like a huge thing for me when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't like 100% proud of being Asian for like the longest time, and that was something like I think that if I had that, like if Iron Fist was like that for me, it would have been really important to me and stuff, and it would have been a nice way to adapt the story, get essentially the essence of what Iron Fist is, and just update it a little bit so that it's like not grossly offensive. And then, this is just, in my opinion, this is a way that they could have improved it.
And you make a very good point on that. And that reminds me of Luke Cage, actually. Mm-hmm. The way he was brought into a story, or at least in the comics, in the 80s or 70s or something, is that he was a prisoner, and he was a prisoner, and they experimented on him, and then he gave this invulnerable skin. Uh-huh. Yeah. So being a black guy and just being introduced into a story as a prisoner in like a prison is...
Because I believe they changed that origin in Luke Cage, right?
I believe... I'm not familiar, but I believe they did.
I didn't get to finish it because I've been busy, but I need to finish it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just... That you bring up those racial issues, that remind me of the Luke Cage.
I mean, it's not so much that, like...
to be clear, they're not, like, malicious. They're just kind of like...
No, by no means
malicious. Like, they're like all person saying, like, a racial slur. Like,
yeah, it's not like that.
Really,
it's not like...
better...
But I just feel like, we should be doing better at this point.
Yeah, and to be clear, like...
Especially after their Doctor Strange controversy that they sparked a lot with that movie, like, it just feels uncalled for.
Can you touch up on that? I've watched Doctor Strange twice, but I don't know.
So Doctor Strange and Iron Fist are actually kind of similar because they both pull from, like, Asian, like, culture and stuff, so that goes into, like, the magic aspects.
Okay.
And so not only did they cast, like, white Doctor Strange, which... it would have been fine, but, like, they actually whitewashed the character, like, the villain in that movie, the ancient one, who was originally, like, a Tibetan, like, old man, and then they turned, like, Tilda Swinton, a white woman, into it, because they thought they were sort of being progressive by making it into a woman, but they kind of just whitewashed in general, but, like, there's a lot of debate against this, and I'm not saying that, like, I just think that it would have been an improvement, Yeah. And I think it's just a hard thing to talk about, but we should have these discussions because it's if we want to like critique this as art, like all art has criticism, so it's just something that we should do.
Exactly.
But
Iron Fist. That's not why it has that's not just why it has 18% on Rotten Tomatoes on stuff.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's I heard it's genuinely
poorly
just a
written.
bad show. It's
Yeah.
poorly written. Apparently, it takes itself way too seriously. It becomes a soap opera. It becomes soap opera-esque is what I've read, and I'll watch it for myself and see, but like I don't know. I can't say I'm that angry about it. Just because ever since the show was announced, fans have just been requesting Asian Danny Rand, and like it's just not it's not something that ever happened. But whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was an important discussion. Okay, like I just
I'm glad
not
you
maybe
brought
not
that up.
everybody
Yeah.
will agree with me, but that's that's something that I definitely I've been advocating for a really long time.
No,
So.
I'm glad I'm aware of that now. I actually was unaware of these. I don't know. I don't want to call them issues, but what are
It's
they?
it's like a bad trope or like a common it's like a
Sure.
critique.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and this has been I mean, it's not valid with everything. Like there are some cases in which a character has to be white,
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like in this case, if you were especially because these shows take place in 2016 as well. 2016, 2017, they take
they're
place
modern,
whenever they come
yeah,
out.
right.
They're modern. They should be adaptations. We can't it is an adaptation. These comic books don't have to be 100% true to their source material.
Mm-hmm.
And so, why not update it? Because you wouldn't take a book that was you wouldn't take a book that was really culturally insensitive a long time ago and turn that into a movie and keep every aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just it's my opinion.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Thought that was important to talk about.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people are kind of mad. It's just because they're doing the team up thing where they're gonna include all these characters into one show afterwards.
Heroes for Hire, the Defenders.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna make
and
the
that means they have
Defenders.
to make every show solid because if there's one weak link,
And that
it's
means
just-
people are gonna be like, oh, I have to watch this show so I get this character in the team up.
That's actually
So
the
that's,
only reason why I'm
people are like,
watching
oh,
it
man,
too.
But we also have the same issue with the CW shows like Arrow, Flash, and then now Heroes of Tomorrow, which
Yeah.
I think is garbage.
I'm not a fan
Oh,
of.
really?
I'm not a fan
Okay.
of any of them.
That one looked okay. It had that guy from Doctor Who in it, so I was like, oh, maybe we'll watch it.
Oh,
But,
that's right, the Millennial Man.
yeah,
Millennial
it's,
Man?
It's bad.
It's Amy Pond's husband.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Doctor Who, so
Okay.
yeah. So apparently it's bad. Is that the same sort of issue that?
No, because they all want to team up. They always get characters from Flash, characters from Arrow, and you get this team up. And I don't think the team up's very good. Personally, I feel like it's just overrated. They try to make something amazing, like the Avengers, the first Avengers.
Exactly.
was amazing.
I
But
was
then-
never a fan of those DC shows in general.
yeah.
'Cause
CW, personally, I believe CW ruined.
They were too very. They were. I tried Flash and I tried Arrow, and I just felt like both were very too melodramatic for me. I couldn't watch it.
I like your word soap opera-esque.
Soap opera esque.
Yeah, I like that.
And it seems like that's the issue with Iron Fist.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to get into our main topic, which is just talking about the origins of Wolverine and stuff?
Right. Yeah. We
Oh,
also Logan.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, so we want to talk about the death of Wolverine right now?
So you're a big comic
Yeah.
book fan.
Yeah, I've looked a lot into at least I've pondered a lot of things, but I focus into Wolverine and his
Really?
old man and his. So we will talk about the death of Wolverine or Old Man Logan. We can talk about both.
We can talk about both. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's I feel like we should talk about whatever is more relevant to the Logan film because we all just saw it.
So it actually included both.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
elements
mix
of
of
both, right?
Yeah,
Which is
and
really cool.
as from the comics I've read, it's not accurate to any of them. It's completely
Yeah.
beyond.
Because I was expecting an old man Logan movie, whereas it's all the villains win and you get to see all these old superheroes and stuff.
That's exactly
That
what it
would've
was.
been cool,
This
but
is the Old Man Logan from a different universe. It's not Universe 626. It's a different universe.
yeah,
In this universe, Old Man Logan, it's about, I believe it's 50 years in the future. And this is after all the villains teamed up and defeated all the heroes. So almost everyone's dead. And the only person that Logan's with right now is, or later in the story, he comes up with a blind Hawkeye. So he's actually really cool. He's like a daredevil kind of guy.
Right.
But the issues start when Logan is on the Hulk's land. So Hulk has this province of land that I think it was part of that is now like Arizona or something.
Right.
And Logan has a family there. He's old. He's sworn to never pop his claws again. And he's just been farming, just kind of being really pacifist with these Hulk people. And these Hulk people are Hulk's incest like children that he mated with like She-Hulk, and like they're gross and like I don't want to say
they're like inbred,
inbred, gross,
people,
right? And they push him around. They push around the old Wolverine because they know he's a pacifist,
right?
And he's a little late with the rent, so he goes off with Hawkeye for the certain task to make some money. But when he comes back, they're all dead. His family's dead, so he goes on this berserker rage. I'm also missing part of the Old Man Logan story where he actually killed Red Skull in a Captain America outfit with Captain America's shield, which I thought was such a good thing to do in the comic, to bring back such an iconic character like Captain America, which Wolverine has fought with many, many times and many different teams throughout comics.
Not to derail, but this is one of the reasons why I hate that like Marvel's rights are all separated everywhere to like different studios, because
miss good opportunities like
you miss
this.
good opportunities like this. Like
story.
imagine if we could have these characters all in the same like film universe, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just, you can keep going, but like that's a tangent I wanted to talk about.
So Wolverine is on this berserker rage after he swore off not to pop off his claws. And before I go describe the berserker rage, the reason he swore to never pop his claws again is now was a pacifist, was because Manifesto, this evil villain that makes you like see different things and messes with your mind.
Right. He's the crystal ball head, right?
Yeah, crystal ball head. I think he's a more Spider-Man.
He's like villain. This like B-list Spider-Man supervillain.
Yeah,
which I like that they're just like throwing in random people. Yeah. And it like makes
that's how comic
impacts.
books are, though. There's like every character has met each other in some like way or some circumstance.
Yeah.
So comics are crazy. They're like that. It's like mythology almost.
Yeah. So Manifesto takes control of Logan, and Logan goes on this rage in the X mansion. So he kills everyone. He kills all his friends.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he killed like 52 different X-Men, and he thought they were just villains. He thought they were like Red Skull or Sabretooth, or just to list a few. And they were hesitating, and that's why they didn't attack him. So he killed everyone, and he was traumatized. He couldn't handle it anymore.
Right.
So that's why he became a pacifist. Going back to him killing all the Hulk family.
Yeah.
So now we are. He kills a lot of the Hulks. Now he meets the Hulk, the Bruce Banner from long ago. He's an old man that he isn't even in Hulk form, but Logan tries to attack him and he just flicks him off. He's not even in Hulk form, yet he has this intense super strength. So then Wolverine finally impales him, and he turns into this monstrous Hulk. Like, you imagine Hulk, but like fee-fi-fo big, like, taking up an entire cave and like big stomach, and he eats the Wolverine. Hours later, he is just trying to digest him. He has stomach aches. And then Wolverine rips out of his body with his claws and just kills the Hulk for the last time. And actually, after that point, he starts wandering with Hawkeye. And then I forget, it was some in the 626 universe, he's brought back in to the 626 universe where the new Wolverine's actually X-23. And Logan has died about 8 years prior in that universe. I forget who he was brought in by, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like after Secret Wars, right? So like, although like alternate universes come back together.
I feel like people are gonna get so lost if they don't know anything about like Secret Wars or Like,
yeah, but I mean, the Old Man Logan story is pretty straightforward. Yeah,
you don't have to know too much. You take it as you take. I'm sorry, you receive it as you take it.
You know, this is interesting because I mean, there was no way that they could do this story with like Logan, like with like the actual Logan film.
No.
So it's interesting to see that they took elements from this story and sort of put it into this film with a different context and stuff. So, so obviously, like they didn't have the rights to Hulk or whatever, but like they did have X-23, and they would. I don't know. It's just. I didn't actually know anything about Old Man Logan before going into Logan, the film. I just knew that, like, that was one of the inspirations for the film, but I haven't actually looked into the story. But, like, seeing that now, like, I wonder, like, because we don't really know. Logan, it's the movie itself, and this is what I love about Logan. It doesn't feed you every, like, detail. So I wonder if this, like, if it is implied, if, like, Logan actually did kill, like, other mutants and stuff, is, like, that's something that happened.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Did
it's
you
definitely,
see the movie? Like,
I know. I did
saw
see the
Logan?
movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's implied that like they just died off from like whatever the evil company was in that movie.
Right.
Like they killed them.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was in the comics. Like that company like.
But it doesn't straight up tell
disables
you.
mutants. Yeah.
It doesn't straight up tell you.
Uses sensory details. And,
Yeah, but there is some like
or context clues.
But I thought that was interesting because there is some like elements of guilt in Logan in the film, you know.
He's always guilty about something. The reason
Yeah.
he carries on Xavier. I mean, he's a great friend, but Logan is driven by guilt and not fear, but fear of self and what he's capable of.
Right.
But
That's
honestly, in this movie, I felt Logan was physically like downplayed. I understand he had adamantium poison because adamantium's still in his bones, but
he's a strong superhero. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot better than that. Even Old Man Logan, even especially in the comics, he killed the Hulk again for like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did find it odd. I guess
they nerfed him.
I should put a spoiler warning for Logan.
Oh yeah, I'll like record something and put it in.
Okay, just
right?
the entire Logan film spoiler warning.
Yeah.
But yeah, the opening sequence of Logan was actually very interesting to me because he's in his car and then he like fights like just random thugs that come up to him, and he was having a hard time fighting them like at first, right before he started really getting like into his rage, tapping into his rage.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting that like they really toned him down, and I think that actually like you might not like it because it's not like the same as the comic books, but like. I kind of like that choice because you're really taking somebody who has the past of being really strong, and that's sort of something that Jessica Jones gets into. They kind of like power them down and stuff, and it makes for really interesting character dynamics, in my opinion.
It's because they immortalize him. He's an immortal, almost an immortal being throughout this entire existence.
Yeah.
And now they're making him mortal. They're making him realize what the fates have for him. What his life has led up to. His life is finally coming to an end.
There's something really interesting about that, in my opinion, for the superhero stories. That's actually one of the reasons why I love Jessica Jones. It's because you're taking this character who's very like powerful and stuff, but you're almost approaching them in this sort of like in this time period in their life where they're more vulnerable. You know, that's one of my favorite themes in that show. So I was happy to see it in Logan. You know, but
So like, let's go. What did you guys actually think of Logan? Like the movie. I mean, like.
Oh, I think it's really strong. It's actually my favorite X-Men
I
film.
personally
the movie?
really liked it. I had mixed. The only reason I had mixed feelings, hear me out, is because it's the last one.
Yeah.
They'll never make another one. And if you guys don't mind, do you mind if I bring up a topic real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
So, the next Wolverine.
Go wild.
What is your thoughts on Tom Hardy? And have you seen the concept art with him?
Wait, Tom Hardy is in the running of playing Wolverine?
Well, he's recommended by Hugh Jackman.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, if Hugh Jackman said that if he were to nominate anyone as the next Wolverine,
that.
Tom Hardy. And there is some concept art with it that's some fan made.
They're both Australian.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like he looks badass.
Really?
If I can say that.
I can't. He can't not be Huge Jackman for me. It's
Huge jacked man.
Man crush right there.
I love
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's. Because he's like so iconic. He's like fused to the character with me.
He's been playing him
like
for
I can't see Hugh Jackman without the button chops anymore because it's just my mind goes to him with that like facial hair because he's just so iconic with it. Like I was watching, he like posted like this video on Twitter of him doing the ADR for like Wolverine.
I saw this.
So like he was watching his performance on screen and like actually like doing the like
and then he
motions
switches
for like the sound effects and stuff. And it's just like he's super into it. He's such like a great actor for that.
He's also like a really sweet man. It's just like a really great guy. And so like after he finished doing the ADR, he kind of switched back into like his regular self, and he just starts smiling. And he's so I love Hugh Jackman so much.
What was your guys' opinion of X-24?
I liked her. I think she was done really well.
24.
Oh, 24.
Wait,
How because I've never seen him before in any of the comics, but he seems like an interesting character. He seems
is that the clone of?
That's the clone of Wolverine. Yeah.
I mean, since I don't know any of the backstory of Wolverine.
Yeah, he's not in any comics. Like that was
okay. So they
new.
totally invented it for the. Well, I thought it was actually pretty cool, and I like the visual metaphor of him being the same as
like fighting himself.
He's
like,
fighting himself, and I like
that was so cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. But in general, in Logan, and that's my main issue with Logan. I feel like the villains are the weakest part of the movie.
True,
and so like I thought. While that was a cool concept, I feel like they could have taken it further in some other ways, but...
There was no real villain. There was an organization, but the face of the organization was... The guy had nothing special about him. I felt like he was a wimp and didn't want to do anything, and that really ruins an enemy for me. Especially when they're so expendable like that.
Yeah.
You want to see a hero destroy this guy, not just an entire organization, but... bring him down. I don't know.
But then again,
you want him to like win, like beat him.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you talking about the guy with the robot hand or the scientist?
Yeah.
No, the guy with the robot hand.
I thought were pretty weak.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked.
Was that Cornelius? Was that supposed to be Cornelius?
I don't know. I think they're based off the people from Old Man Logan, right? The modded people. I forget what their names are, but like the robots, right? The half robot people.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
I know they're from some comic book series, but I forget which one it is. But
I know that they're probably.
I thought that they were totally stupid. Get it. I felt like just the arm thing that the robots like you're in the special group now. You have half.
we all have robot arms. We're a special club.
Yeah, and they're all bad. Like they're not smart. Like when they're holding something. Like when they're this is a minor part, but do you remember the little girl that blew like ice from her thing?
Yeah.
Her mouth. The guy was holding her with his real arm when he could have been holding with a robot arm.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I was nitpicking. I know it's just stupid, but just something.
That's hilarious.
Takes you out of it.
But that just kind of goes into like my thing. What that makes Logan so great is that the villains are weaker, but the villains don't really matter in the end because the whole point of Logan is the character development, and that's the strongest part of Logan. That's why it resonated with me so much, and I think that's what makes it so strong is because you really care about these characters, especially since we've kind of lived with them our entire lives, growing up watching these X-Men movies and stuff. Like seeing that, seeing like Logan come to his final conclusion and seeing the way that they sort of like developed this story around these characters and stuff, and they really paid attention to like the emotional weight of everything. It means more than any other villain. So, like that. While the villains in Logan are the weakness of the film, it doesn't ruin it in any sort of sense. So, I actually believe Logan is my favorite X-Men movie, and maybe that's not hard because I don't really enjoy any of the X-Men movies.
No one really enjoyed the X-Men movies.
Yeah, I don't. But like, this is so strong and so unexpected for me. So, yeah.
I think what really put the bow on this movie was the rated R. The fact that you could see Logan destroy people, to see him rip limbs and without any censoring or whatever the PG-13 censor, and that really just put the bow on top of the box.
I agree.
Yeah, I think what's cool about this movie is that they were free to do whatever they want. They weren't. There's no like MCU they have to worry about where they have to keep this character alive to for the next movie, or like they don't have to worry about backstories because the timeline's messed up and it doesn't make sense anyways. And like they don't have to cut away from any violence because the
X-Men timeline is the worst.
Brutal, absolutely brutal. I don't know. I think this was the last movie of that particular timeline. I think they're done.
I
with
think
that.
this is like the timeline of Days of Futures Past where the villains win or something, and then this is like the last movie in that timeline or whatever.
Something like that.
I don't know. I never see any Sentinels around. That really makes me like skeptical of like how it's the future.
They said they just like
particular
died off
future.
or something, right?
Yeah.
But like so they can do.
You know what it was? It was when this. What happens is that mutants were stopped being born.
Oh
after-
yeah, that's
right.
what it was.
And then-
So there's no need for Sentinels.
So there's no need for Sentinels because they
Yeah.
just stopped being born and they killed them all the
Right.
mutants.
Okay.
But yeah, this is like one of the only superhero movies besides like Guardians of the Galaxy where they could do whatever they wanted because they
Guardians
have
of the Galaxy is such a new idea.
yeah because no one knew what they were, so they could just like screw around with them. But yeah, so I think
agree.
that's where this movie really shines is that they could kill off Logan because
This is
they
last
didn't have
movie.
anything to answer with
Yeah.
to, and like they really made this like really intense like movie where you didn't know what's gonna happen and you're more involved with the story than something like Civil War where you're kind of like waiting for
Thinking about
you're
the
waiting
next
for the
movie.
Avengers
Yeah.
pretty much like so like they can really have these like impactful moments where something actually dangerous happens to like where they can actually kill off
Professor Xavier.
yeah like
Professor Xavier.
the key character in all the X-Men comics and like they can just do whatever they want. I think that's what really like made it feel tense and weighty and like awesome.
I thought that was great, but I was kind of disappointed by the death of Wolverine. I mean, the movie made me
really?
forget about
Yeah.
it. The movie made me forget and made me think like, dude, he's gonna come back. Yeah, he's totally gonna like regenerate from that, but he doesn't.
He doesn't.
But it was to me, it was super like anticlimactic way to die
Really?
because the way in the death
Oh yeah,
of
he was
Wolverine,
stuffed into the tree.
yes,
Yeah.
he was just impaled by a tree. Like it's kind of pathetic, but the way he dies in the comics is so brilliant, like so amazing.
I've heard people complain about that. But
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a perfect way to end Wolverine's life. I felt personally.
No, I've heard people complain about the way they handled his death in the movie. And I felt I remember when I walked out, I was like, "How did he die again?" Yeah, because I felt that way too. So yeah, that's probably you could. That's a genuine complaint with the movie.
So if you want, I could talk about the death of Wolverine in the movie, if right now, or not in the movie, in the comics.
Yeah. So how does he die in the comic books?
So in the comic books, right now he was infected by this miniverse virus, which disabled his healing factor.
Right.
For some reason, he had also a super strength and speed, which I didn't get because his super strength and speed come from his healing factor and his ability to regrow muscle mass and
his
strength
senses.
and his heightened senses because of that healing factor. I thought it was because of that, but I guess not. It just disables his healing factor. Anyway, and he goes to all the smartest people in the Marvel universe, like Reed Richards. He couldn't come up with the antidote, but he's being hunted down by this organization, and through a long list of people he just kills and interrogates for the final person he's trying to kill him is the Weapon X program. Is Cornelius himself, who implanted the adamantium into his bones, is trying to hunt him down and kill him so he can give the healing factor to some other subjects. When Cornelius learns he no longer has the healing factor, he says, "Forget it," and he has this antidote or like this healing factor. What do you call it?
The green stuff, right, from this movie?
No, it wasn't green. Yeah, the green stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
And that actually makes sense. No, thank you. In the comics, it was like yellow, but
okay.
That's why I was confused. Anyway, the green stuff, and Wolverine could have used it to save himself because he was dying because Cornelius put him into this death state, like the stage of death. But before his last moments, and he killed after he killed Cornelius, got out of that prison. He killed Cornelius, and then the subjects that he was going to fuse adamantium with and kill him, he freed them and uses the green stuff to heal them. But in the process of taking those people out, he triggered like this flow of molten adamantium to flow on him. So what happens? He doesn't have a healing factor anymore, and he used that healing potion for all the other patients. So he is just walking outside the Weapon X facility.
Right.
In molten adamantium. He is about to die.
Yeah.
And he just goes outside. He kneels down, hands in his knees, and he just thinks like, this is the proper way I should die. It's been good. Of all the teams he's been on almost every single team of the Marvel universe. He is one of the most long-lived person in the Marvel universe, being, I think, almost 300 years old when he died. It's such a marvelous death to bring him back to the Weapon X facility that made him the Wolverine he is known today, and to see him vulnerable without the healing factor. I think that was a really appropriate way to die.
Yeah.
Really concluded.
Yeah.
The way he should die.
I mean, in comparison, in Logan, you kind of just see him die like in the woods. It's not like it's not really like a specific like area in his life, but that seems to me like more impactful. But I just wonder how. I mean, you can't like really bring everything into a movie, so like I'm not sure how like they would do something like that in the Logan film, the way the story was made, you know. But I do think that's really strong. Like just thinking about that, like just
his
imagining
tomb
that.
is his own adamant. Is the
Yeah.
strongest metal on Earth. I thought that was.
Yeah, the death didn't have like that kind of intensity because you kind of just see him like impaled by a tree.
Although I don't want to say that because I did almost like cry in the theater. So like I don't know, like it's a tough call. But like I think the comic probably that's a stronger death than what he was offered in the movie. But let's clear this up. Like, and that's different from because in the comics he's getting weaker because of
this mini-verse virus.
Right.
It was weird how it was actually like personified this virus, and like he was talking to Wolverine. It was weird. Anyway.
But in Logan the movie, it's the adamantium itself that's poisoning him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Fun fact: Logan has had several sets of adamantium embodied in him. Magneto once ripped the adamantium from his bones.
Wow.
So that was really cool.
Nice. So yeah, what'd you think of like him having comic books of himself in the movie?
I think that was really funny, especially of the Utopia, especially when
that was such a cool reveal.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool how they're doing the Utopia comic book with that, and how he actually talked about it, how he remembers these stories, not exactly like I had the costume, but like. He was like, yeah, it was fake. We all did that. We all killed everyone, and like.
I thought it was such a good choice, like direction wise, because I don't know. I really loved the moments of seeing Logan like flipping through the comic books,
reminiscing. Like, Hugh Jackman's acting about him reminiscing was just.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, I it kind of felt like it was a little bit weird. Like, I don't get why people like mutants are hated, right? In the past they were like actually hated in like a subjugated.
Yeah, but this means that kind of means that they were liked enough that they have comic books.
Get like a comic book. It felt a little bit weird, but I liked it. Like when he was like doing he's saying like these aren't real. These are just like.
Well, they could have made those comic books to like personify mutants, and so that they don't. Yeah. So they make him real and like superheroes. So they make mutants, the people that they're feared, into like the best people around, into. That could have been a reason for the developing in the comic books of that particular universe, but I don't feel like that was an important distinction to make.
It's just a little. I mean, it's a little detail in the movie, so it kind of rolls with it. But you know what's interesting though is because it doesn't seem like Old Man Logan and the death of Logan are really these types of. Because the reason I like Logan so much is that it is so self-contained and it doesn't like worry itself with trying to connect itself to other universes. Mm-hmm. So let's say that the MCU has X-Men, right? Would you rather see something of Logan where it's more self-contained and it doesn't like care to go to like other like stories and characters and stuff, and be more accurate to the comic books you like, but also be less of a film, you know? Or would you?
I think Wolverine's strong enough of a character to be in movies. Like he's part of the Avengers, part of almost every single team in the Marvel Universe, except for like the fourth time. he's an important part of the Marvel universe. Whether
Yeah.
it's the Avengers, the Defenders, Heroes for Hire,
Right.
Whoever you want.
Uh-huh.
I think he's a strong enough character so he can get both his own solo movies and be part of that Marvel universe.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say that would be like less of a film, but it would definitely be like less like
Impactful.
I wouldn't say less impactful,
Well,
but
like,
it's
if
like
they don't have if they don't need source material for it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Would you because
kinda, but like
these are different mediums though? Because like if you translated 100% the comic book to film, I'm sure it wouldn't work on the same way that like you know. I
Yeah.
just think that's an interesting like sort of conversation. Would you want something more accurate to the books, or would you want something that they changed a little and they sort of made it work? And
so
you
like,
know,
do you like changes in your
yeah.
adaptations?
Do you like changes in your
like when they're like straight from like the comic book stories, like Civil
Yeah.
War was super different from
Yeah.
actual
Way
Civil War
different.
was
Way
not
different.
even close.
But it was still a good movie. I still
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah.
You see, you have to take into difference cinematic universe and
Uh-huh.
Universe 626 in the Marvel universe, and they actually account for that. How there's different universes, like Universe 66, Universe whatever, Universe 1.
Yeah.
They do that all the time in the Marvel universe, and they started to incorporate that now even more with like things like Gwenpool, Universe 62, not Gwen, Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
And-
Gwenpool.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Spider-Gwen.
No, those are two different characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait. Gwen Stacy Deadpool? Is that what it
No,
is?
Gwen Stacy
it's-
Spider-Man.
Gwen.
I know what Gwen.
is weird. She's like from the universe where the Marvel comics are written from, and then she goes into the universe where the comics.
She thinks she's a
Are?
superhero. She knows she's a superhero. She's like
Interesting.
invulnerable in this. It's not quite fourth wall breaking, but it's like she knows she's in a comic book, and she doesn't. It's not that she says hi to the audience, but she recognizes like how the coincidences that happen for her because
Right.
and
Like
she's
the
trying
random
to
tropes and stuff, right?
and it's
Yeah.
really great because she tries to find who she is as a superhero, who artists try to build her into be, as a like a merc, as a main villain, as even a main superhero. She doesn't know, so it's really cool just seeing her immersed randomly into this comic book.
Uh-huh.
I believe it was Gwenpool Spider Gwen that she was released into
Right.
randomly. Anyway,
Anyways,
so
yeah.
I'm getting off topic. So no, I do appreciate Marvel Cinematic Universe being different.
Uh-huh.
However, I do like the tips of the hat to the real
Right.
comic books.
The references
And if they can, I'm not a real stickler about remaining to exactly how the comic books ended. But I really appreciate the comic books and would love to see some real life stuff
Yeah.
from the comic
yeah,
books.
like
That's
there's
just
some
a-
stories that
That's an interesting
you want
conversation.
in there, right?
Exactly.
Like,
That's just an interesting conversation that I like having about comic books, comic book movie adaptations. So.
yeah, I like changes, but if they if they take away from like the epicness of the story, or they have to scale down, I never feel like it's worth it.
Civil War did feel like it was.
That's what
scaled
bothered
down.
me because when I was probably 11 when I found out about Civil War, or I'm probably older than that. I don't know when it came out, but like my aunt showed it to me. It was like, look, all these superheroes are fighting right now, and it I saw the scene where it was the entire Marvel universe in the Tony Stark mansion, and they were all fighting each other, arguing and stuff, and that was what was really cool about that. Was it was an all out war from every every single person, and the Civil War movie was just
They're all
it was 10 people.
6
Yeah, it
people.
looked kind of lame. Like they were just in an airport airstrip,
Yeah.
and then they're just
Yeah.
five people.
That's not even a party for
Yeah.
those things. So that was one thing. I mean, it was a good movie, but it just you can never when you don't have that
You can't 100%
budget and
replicate,
stuff
for
the same scale as the comic books is.
Right.
It kind of feels bad.
And even then, some characters felt forced, like Ant-Man. I felt like Ant-Man didn't really need to be.
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah, he was a little bit weird. In there.
No,
I
he's a
like-
great
he's a
character.
cool-
He's in a.
Yeah.
I felt like Ant-Man's presence in that movie was so great.
He was funny.
He was funny, but he
Yeah.
felt forced. I felt like they forced it because he just
Yeah,
opened
he
a
came
van,
out in the
I'm here,
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
And then Spider-Man, I felt that was not forced because they actually did a little dedicated a good 15 minutes to him.
My one thing with Spider-Man in Civil War is that I just wish they didn't tell us that he was going to be in that movie.
That would have been amazing if they didn't have teasers.
You're kidding me? I would have.
Yeah, I would have. If I didn't know already that he would be in this movie, and I didn't already have an idea of how long he was going to be in this movie, I would have like cried in the theater if that happened.
That would have been insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was also a little bit weird about Civil War. That like Tony Stark was just like totally cool about dragging in like a 16-year-old to fight like the
kid.
Strongest people in the universe.
Yeah.
Which is really great because it really shows Spider-Man's true strength. Spider-Man's actually insanely strong.
He gets slammed by like what are those, like the cargo ships, right? And just like, well, not those ships, but like the boxes.
Containers.
Yeah, he gets smashed.
And he is a kid.
And the punch from Winter Soldier's robotic arm, he just held it. He's like, whoa,
that
robot arm. He's like freaking out because he didn't realize how strong this guy was. And never mind, go on.
Tom Holland's a great Spider-Man.
I'm excited for that Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man Homecoming, I think it's pretty strong so far. It looks pretty good. I mean, I just kind of want to say, like, I wanted to make this comment earlier, but you know, we talked about Logan having a very distinct, like, writing, like, from a writing perspective, they got to do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, also from a stylistic perspective, when we're thinking about it, like, the cinematography is very stylized. It has a very Western feel to it, which most superhero movies don't feel. And it doesn't always feel like a superhero movie. It just feels like a regular movie sometimes, you know? Mm-hmm. And see, this is part of what makes Logan so unique, because when this movie was first like starting out, it was being advertised. They are really they are really trying to like get this movie like awards season they really want this to be an award season contender. And I was just wondering, in your opinion, like, would this be something that you would like to see get awards attention? Because
like an Oscar,
they actually, what's interesting is they actually premiered Logan at a very like low key film festival, and that that's like, and they I believe they were gonna play it at Sundance and everything too. Like, it's weird, you know. It is like a cool They really are trying to campaign this to be a really Oscar-worthy like superhero movie.
You're right. When you said you sometimes you feel like it's a superhero movie, I felt that too. How you can really just, rather than be engrossed in like fighting, you can be engrossed in like the character development and stuff.
And so, in my opinion, if Logan were to win or get attention for anything, I don't think it would get an Oscar, but maybe I see Hugh Jackman
for makeup though, because
makeup.
Some of that stuff is like really cool. Yeah. Or like the like all the battle damage and stuff.
Wolverine
looks crazy. Yeah,
he looked old and like and beat up.
Like at the end, he was like super pale.
Right,
like, you could see like the
jaundice. You thought his kidneys were failing. Like
Anyways, I was trying to say that if it were to win or if it were to get a nomination, I don't think it would win anything, but I could see Hugh Jackman getting like a couple like low key like, you know, awards, because like Ryan Reynolds got nominated for just a Golden Globe for like comedy
for Deadpool.
Deadpool, so like I could totally see Hugh Jackman getting like a Golden Globe nomination for this.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't really care. I don't need like
I don't need validation.
I don't need superhero movies to like get Oscars. But like for them to get nomination, that's like cool. That's good enough.
Yeah. But I was just wondering, like, in your opinion, like, do you think this is worthy of whatever they're trying? Because it feels weird that they are like trying to really push the award season like appeal to this.
I don't think a superhero movie ever is going to, because it is no matter like how good it is, they're just going to label it as a superhero movie.
The Dark Knight.
That is
except the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could.
There are some exceptions. Yeah.
I think so.
I believe it was Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight that really.
And I felt like Logan was like the most mature superhero movie we've ever gotten since The Dark Knight. So
I keep forgetting about this.
Yeah,
but I forgot what sorry.
I think it's the top 10 of the IMDb of The Dark Knight actually.
It actually is.
Really?
Yeah, it's like of all time. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I don't need the validation of it winning an Oscar, but I do like. I mean, I think it would be cool.
Especially just for a nomination.
Yeah.
As Parker was saying.
There is really solid directing. There's some really good chops. But in terms of what I'd like to see it like actually get nominated, I feel like we're not there yet. Like Logan is way more like artistically made than other superhero films, but I feel like we could still take the extra step and like go further than this. But I think it would be cool because that would really validate comic book movies as like a genuine like entertainment. So
And I would like to see that too.
Uh-huh.
But what character do you think that would be? There's very few characters that I think that would be appropriate for a movie
Or
like
there
that.
would be like Oscar-winning performances. Is that what you mean?
Well, in the sense where he's talking about like that, not necessarily dark, but it tends to be dark, but not.
yeah,
And that
Characters-
character development.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's really.
we just talked about Jessica Jones earlier, but I feel like characters like Jessica Jones would really be able to push that like
yeah.
limit, and there must be more because Jessica Jones is like a very like obscure character. There must be more characters that are so similar to her story, or like go through similar like issues and like struggles and stuff because there's a really big mythology there. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have to be like, I don't know, because
X-23 question mark?
X-20, I could see
Yeah.
X-23 being like a really solid.
It's-
The little girl who plays X-23 said that she'd be willing to play her in the future.
But I don't think because I want to see her like be the Wolverine because in the Marvel universe right now she is the Wolverine.
Yeah.
And it's really cool seeing her in the full blown like Wolverine costume and with her being badass with her claws and like foot claws.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see that, but I don't want to sexualize the character because that's
Yeah.
usually what happens when
in comic books.
when-
Yeah, that
with
usually
female
happens in
comic book
comic books,
characters.
yeah.
They sexualize. I don't want. Wolverine.
I agree. That's always an issue.
Getting better, but
You're right. It is getting better. Actually,
I mean-
Thor is now female.
yeah,
I thought that was really
that
cool.
was cool.
Yeah.
Thor is female.
Because if you really think about it, the Thor is not just like it's like Thor is like a title. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the thing like, it's weird talking about like the comic book movie as a genre because you can definitely like feel it when it's like, oh, this is a comic booky movie, right?
Yeah.
But like something like the Winter Soldier, that was supposed to be like a really like corporate espionage, like kind of stuff like that.
there are
Like,
different
there's-
approaches. That
yeah,
you can
I
take
think
to each
there's
one.
like Guardians of the Galaxy is a sci-fi movie, just straight up.
Yeah.
And like what they're trying to do with the movies is like kind of go in like different genres, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's always kind of hard to move away from that. Like, there's a villain, there's a hero, they're gonna fight, and it's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's kind of hard to define like a comic book movie at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean I don't know. I think like it's gonna move on as a medium because
Yeah.
like comic books are just genres of stories.
They
Like,
have
so it
to.
doesn't
Based
like,
off a book, right?
yeah. So it doesn't like they don't need to be comic book movies.
Yeah.
they're gonna move past that and just become their own genre of stuff.
And I think we're getting to that point where they have to sort of evolve because I know before we saw Logan, both of us expressed like kind of just fatigue with like the way superhero movies were going
we
in
were
direction.
over it.
But
Over
since
it.
we,
Apocalypse, X-Men Future
but when we
Past,
saw Logan, we both really liked it because it was trying to be different,
refreshing.
It was refreshing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I do agree that like in the future we're gonna get more types of different tones and like different styles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's what it should have been, I think, for a really long time.
I'm really excited for the future, especially with
Mm-hmm.
new movies coming out like Black Panther. Or
We just talked about
So excited.
Thor Ragnarok, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it's gonna shake up the Thor movies. It's gonna
I
be
want to see Hulk.
drastically different than anything else.
I want to see Hulk destroy Asgard.
Yeah, I wish they would have made it like an actual Planet Hulk movie because that
Oh, so
That
They
run was
couldn't
so
have
cool.
because they don't have the rights to make a Hulk solo movie. They can't do that.
but they've done it like 4 times already.
I mean, no, because
so they have the character, but they don't.
they
have
have
the
the
rights
character
to
because
movie?
the Incredible Hulk, is considered part of the MCU, but that was with Paramount and everything. So
Whoa.
it's part of the MCU, and Disney doesn't own Incredible Hulk, so that's why they don't when they make MCU box sets, they don't include Incredible Hulk in it because they don't
It's so weird.
they don't technically
Too
own
often
it.
does this happen.
Yeah,
Too
it
often.
just-
It's so
frustrating.
scrambled. I really hope that studios come into this conclusion where they're like, we can help each other and we can benefit each other if we just share these characters,
Like the outcome would be amazing.
Uh huh.
They can do it wrong, but I feel like with so many corporations together, if they were to do that, it would be really great because it would have all these different ideas and conflicting.
Anyway, they have access to Hulk as a character that they can put him in their movies, but they can't make a Hulk solo movie.
Huh.
It's complicated. It's
weird.
really weird.
But I mean, I'm glad he's in the MCU.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and I'm happy for Taika Waititi. So, yeah. Do you want to bring up any last things? We're getting close to the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
No. Yeah. Maybe just X-23. I thought she was a little.
Yeah, we should talk about X-23 a little bit more. Yeah.
She, the actress, the young girl, the actress that played X-23 did an amazing job.
Solid. She was so good.
I just felt like the character, because the timeline was all screwed up, so the timeline was all off for me. So as a comic book reader, I was just confused a little bit and kind of sad how I couldn't see like a training montage with Wolverine and X-23.
Right.
And even more bonding. There was a lot of bonding, but I felt like it could even been like more and see her evolve as a character, because her character development is really limited just because of the character of the language barrier, I guess.
Yeah.
But you could see how she changes throughout the movie, and I thought that was cool too.
Right.
Like you didn't get that like fan service with like this really cool character, right?
No, and that was also a great part, seeing like a female comic character without getting like boobs,
yeah, because she's a
complete. Yeah. She's 11. She's like, there's nothing sexual about her, and that's great. And she's a badass. She destroys and kills everyone in her way.
Her action scenes are amazing.
Parker and I were kind of talking about this after I saw Logan, but I don't know if you played The Last of Us.
I actually recently got the game, but I haven't started playing it.
Okay,
I know of it.
Please play it, because it's actually my number one favorite game of all time.
Heard great things.
But the story is actually kind of like, I feel like they kind of tackled that story in like the same way The Last of Us did. And so there's like a lot of interesting parallels between Logan and The Last of Us. And that's just something I wanted to touch on. Because like, I feel like the way they approached X-23 is also sort of the same way they approached Ellie, like the little girl in that game. So, yeah. Since none of you guys played it, I'm not going to really talk about it, though. But do please check it out.
Oh, no, I have the game. I have the full intention to play it.
Maybe just over the break when you're,
exactly.
Yeah.
5 days in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. The reason why I feel like they're so similar is because all these like comic book readers, all these game developers and these writers, they're all aging.
Yeah.
So they all have these like father-daughter experiences now, and they're feeling old. So
I
they're
love
writing these
that
stories.
dynamic, though.
Yeah, they're writing
it's
these
really
stories
powerful.
about,
Yeah.
Best things come from that man.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And I think that should be about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sums it up.
So everybody, I hope you're still not listening if you haven't watched Logan, but if you haven't, check it out because it's a really solid movie. It's probably gonna end up being like one of the best of the year that we're gonna remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So please check it out. And so you want to get into our end slate. So what's your weird recommendation of the week?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I have it's hard for me to like preface these. Like I never know how to introduce them. But this one's a good one. This one's a real weird one. So I'm gonna pull it up and then,
so Brandon, if you don't know,
you tell me your gut reaction to. Oh wait, no, it's right here.
So is it a movie?
We have our end slate, and Parker recommends something weird and different for everybody to try out every week, and it could be literally anything.
Yeah, like it was a restaurant one time, comic book. Like last episode was Saga.
Toys.
Yeah, toys.
I could dig it. Show 'em.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna show you a picture, and then you're gonna have to be like, you're gonna have to deal with it.
I'm kind of scared.
All right, here. Just scroll through this.
Ooh, Tumblr, a great place to go. Now, is this a mold? Is this
What is going on?
All right, okay, wait. Not that one.
Are these like
not that one.
computerized? Like the skin flapping. Okay.
It's okay. So this is what I'm plugging today is JellyGummies. It's this Tumblr page, kind of like this like weird art project this guy's doing, and he models these things in I forget if it's Unity or something, but he uses like these really weird textures and stuff. So you get these really really creepy, weird looking creatures and like these really like weird old people faces that like inflate and deflate and
I'm gonna get nightmares.
Morph into other things.
You see all silent now, Tyler. Right?
I'm mesmerized though. Wow, these are crazy.
It's interesting. Where do you find this?
What's this blog name again?
It's JellyGummies.
JellyGummies.tumblr.com.
And it's ugly, but it's cute and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm oddly like satisfied looking at it though. This is so strange.
Yeah, they're a little bit horrifying, but
You know,
yeah,
I
so
think
that's
I
my
saw
thing
you
for
looking at this on Econ, and I looked at your screen and I was like, what?
yeah. They're just fun to watch for me, and it's always fun to weird people out with them. So yeah, that's my plug for this week.
All right, Brandon, do you have anything to shout out? You can shout out anything. We have at least 100 listeners in each show, so like
awesome.
That's a lot in
Social
retrospect.
media.
Well, I guess shout out to my friend Nick Lee.
Yeah.
Help me bring. He's a mutual friend of both Tyler and I, as we mentioned earlier,
Right.
and I'm glad we're friends, so I can talk to Tyler and Parker today. Yeah, thank you.
Do you want to shout out your social media?
Sure. Hit me up on Facebook, on Instagram, Brandon Khamenian. I'm actually on Snapchat. I'm known as Neo Batman, Neo Batman. So, shout out to my 7th grade life, or like whenever I got it by Tumblr,
Right.
Snapchat. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Hit me up. I'll follow back.
I will have our links to our social media in the description. And finally, of course, if you want to be a guest on this podcast, write us an email with a little introduction to yourself and a little brief summary of what you want to talk about. Also, we are accepting Q&A questions, so if you want any questions for us, you can send an email too. Or if you just want to talk about anything that we discussed in the episode with us, it'd be really cool if you send us an email. So, nighttalkspodcast@gmail.com. And you can just write us whatever, and we'll read it. And we'll probably talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
So, last thing is Aperture Shirts. I'm done plugging my web series. I hate saying it every week. So, you know what? We have shirts, and that's all I'm going to plug. Their shirts, our deadline is, I actually extended it, and it goes into Wednesday the 15th. So if you want to buy a shirt, you'll have until then. There will be a link in the description of this episode for an order form, and we're trying to get at least 20 shirts sold, and if 20 shirts do not get sold, then I'm going to have to cancel the form or something. But, yeah, we're trying to reach that goal, so, yeah. Lastly, I am working on a new film, and that is in its editing stages, so I will probably plug it, go into more detail next time, but that is in development, and that is coming very soon. So, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, do you have any last things to say, or?
No, just thanks.
Yeah.
Glad
awesome.
to be here.
Ending these podcasts is always the worst. It's like, I don't know what to say, you know?
Yeah.